Big deal to tell you about this morning involving natural pet food company Blue Buffalo. Only been public for a couple of years, but it's getting taken out, so to speak, by General Mills. And this is a large deal for General Mills, $8 billion, $40 a share for Blue Buffalo shareholders. It is all in cash. It will actually have the effect of taking the debt on General Mills' balance sheet up. They'll be about 4.2 times levered. Say they'll get down to about 3.5 times levered in the not too distant future. And it's at a big price, 22 times EBITDA. That includes synergies. If you actually exclude them, 25 times EBITDA, about 6 times revenues. This is a fast-growing company because this has been a fast-growing sector. We're talking about, what, a $30 billion overall market for pet food. I think about 10% of it is natural. This company has been delivering compound annual net sales growth of 12%. An annual adjusted EBITDA growth of 18% over the last 3 years. General Mills, though, making a big statement by making this decision. You can see its stock is a bit weak. It's not using that as currency here, so that's simply a response of some shareholders at this point saying, okay, maybe we get it, but it's a big price you're paying. We'll take them into competition with the likes of Mars, which owns all of those different pet food brands. We think of it as a candy company in many ways, but pet food. And actually, they did a deal last year to acquire VCA also. But you can see some of the names here that are under the General Mills banner, and that will represent, I think, about 7% overall of the company's overall revenues. If I got my pie chart here that I'm looking at, yeah. And they're saying it creates a compelling additional growth platform.
Well, we're reminded of their last big deal for Annie's, right? $820 million in cash 3 years ago, 2014.
Yeah.
But again, chasing natural.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And this obviously a much larger deal for relatively new management there under relatively new CEO. Relevant multiples there. Maybe the likes of a White Wave, even though it's not in pet food. I get it, but sort of the natural. Trying to understand a little bit more here as to whether this was an auction. There had been some rumors about it, so the premium is very large when you look at it overall, but perhaps not as much on the current stock price because it was not unaffected, as we like to say, although you can see still good for a 16+% move.
Consumer packaged goods stocks in general under pressure over the past year with this search by consumers for the more natural side of things, organic products. Kraft Heinz, for instance, Campbell, both saying in the latest quarter that things have been tough. It's been a tough quarter as they try and compete, and so there is this sort of pressure, especially as the stock prices for at least Campbell and Heinz, they're down by more than 20% over the past 12 months. General Mills has fared a little bit better there, down about 10% over the past 12 months. Some pressure here to find some ways to the natural food aisle.
Yep.
Remember what Erwin Simons told us earlier in the week? Said if he had a 22-year-old daughter, but if he showed her a can of food, she would be like, how do you open this thing? Exactly. As a knock against Campbell's or any competitor who sells food in cans.
Middle of the store, which Jim Cramer talks about so often. Of course, he also talks about the humanization of pets, which I can now relate to a little bit more.
Welcome to the party.
Yes, a year or so in with the dog, who we love, of course. And I think he even, I don't know what he gets fed. I think it might be Blue Buffalo.
Would you shun a can of dog food?
Yes, I would shun
food?
that. No, I would not feed him human food. But all natural. He's got to be, kept very healthy.
Yes.
We want him in peak performance. Yeah.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.